Hey there, crafty cuties. Today I am going to kind of do some prep work in my October daily. I guess you could call it foundation pages in a sense, only because I ran out of ink in my Canon Selfie, which is the printer I use to print all of my photos. And before we move on, I wanted to show you day 2 complete. I did a live video showing this, and I don't think I ended up showing the very complete version, but here it is. It's a super fun accordion. It has tons of pictures, so if you want to see how I created this layout, you can check out the video right before it, and I just made a little tie. Let's get back to day 3. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So I'm going to work on day 3. So you can see I already stuck a glassine bag that I want to use here. I know which photo I want. It's going to be of my mom, and I'll talk a little bit more about that as we get started. I did stamp out using the Tim Holtz stamps the word 3, and then I just traced it with some black ink because it wasn't super dark. I have this piece of coffee dyed paper that I cut down kind of like a tag size, and I'm gonna stick this into the glassine bag, but I decided I want to do a little bit of watercolor on one side, and I'll do my journaling probably on this side. So I have some watercolor paper here, and these are the watercolors I'm using, which are this one right here, Jane Davenport. I'll be honest, this isn't my favorite, but I'm gonna use it because I've got it, and I have some water over here and paper towel. So let's get started. I just want to have a kind of a nice little background, and I'm just gonna watercolor this area, and then I'll cut out the section that I like the best. I kind of like doing that because it gives me a little bit more room to move around. And of course my puppy needs to go out right now. And you know what? Actually, I want to put some water down on this first, even though I put some ink down. That's okay. So let's try that again. You'll see what a difference that makes to have water down. If you are not, see, it just, I don't know, I like it a lot. So I just want to use some fall colors, the kind of the typical colors. So for this spread of day 3, anyway, so for day 3, what I am wanting to do is put a photo of my mom and I. My mom is a very, very special person in my life, and I don't really put a lot of pictures of her, I think, in my journals, and I'm with her all the time, so it's kind of funny, but I think it's just mostly because I take so many pictures of my children, and so I kind of focus on that. But I definitely want to make a special spread just for her, because she had to kind of unexpectedly have a surgery, and she had one surgery planned for, I think it was a gallbladder removal, but there was complications afterwards, and like I guess they didn't get all the gallstones or something. I guess that happens once in a while, and so she had to go back for another emergency surgery. And my mom has just been through so much, you guys. Let's do a little bit more pink. This is gonna look much cooler, I think, when it dries. So just go ahead and set this aside to dry. So let me clean this up and we'll work on the rest of it. All right, I actually just set that out in the sun to dry. Now this is going to be the back of the tag, just some coffee dyed paper, but I realized I kind of want this journaling to be a bit more private. Even though it's my journal, I want it to be somewhat hidden. So I'm gonna take 2 of the same size of coffee dyed paper, and I didn't measure these, I just want them to fit in the glassine bag sticking out a bit. But we're gonna go ahead and let's make a prettier top to this. And then what I'm gonna do is glue on the other side of this, it's going to be the watercolor paper, if that makes sense. It will when it's all done. And I'm just gonna make a random shape. I like this kind of scalloped situation here. So then we can go ahead and take this and figure out which way it went. That way, and flip it over this way, and then just cut out that same shape over here. Not perfect, but it doesn't need to be perfect. Now I'm going to take some washi tape. I don't usually use washi tape for this kind of thing, but I know that this washi tape is actually pretty darn strong, and I'm also going to add just a little bit of glue underneath as well. So basically I'm just going to use a little bit of glue right alongside here, and this will allow the back side of the tag to flip open. And then I also kind of like that pop of black and white. Just make sure it's lined up just right, and then fold the other upside down. Okay, and then you can just trim off the excess washi. That way you don't have to measure it out all perfectly. And just round that a little bit more. There we go. Okay. Now, I don't really need to decorate the back of the tag, but I sort of want something there, and so I'm thinking of just having a big number 3. And so I'm just gonna try to freehand that on here, and we'll do like kind of a tall one. Oh, that's not very good. Well, I'm gonna try my best at least to see what happens when I cut this out. And if not, we can skip it. All right, we're just gonna go with it. I realized too that the front of the glassine bag has a 3 stamped, so yeah, this wasn't necessary, but that's okay. I like it. We'll just keep it there. Okay. I'm gonna go see if that other piece is dry before we do anything else. So my journaling is done now. I have my paper in here dry now, pretty dry. And so now I'm gonna go ahead and just glue this down. I think it'll be fine to even glue just over the washi. We're gonna glue this onto the back of, oh no, the watercolor paper. So I'm just gonna kind of guess where, we'll just take a random spot. All right, so we have a little flip, and then over here is that watercolor paper. I'm just gonna put the photo literally just smack dab right here. I might add an embellishment or two when I get the photo down, but for now I don't really want to add too much, because that way I'll know that the photo will fit just easily and perfect, and that it can be finished. It will have like a finished look no matter what, but I can add more if I want. Okay, so, oh, you know what? I should have done that differently. All right, I think it's time for me to take a break before I go on. This is supposed to be in the center. It's not. I went ahead and just sewed it on, but we're just gonna leave it. It's fine. So I'm gonna call that good. We'll say day 3 is done. I just gotta add the photo. I'm gonna take a little break. And that's going to be all for today's video. I'll be sure to do a flip through when everything is totally complete, but I will see you in the next video, guys. I hope you have a lovely day. Bye.